obviously, this is a big movie that I never thought I was going to come here and love. Obviously, Jim Carrey, Shadow, and obviously, what is the other Dr. Robotnik as Jim Carrey? Exactly.
Yeah, Grandpappy.
And I love it when they're both... I'm surprised that they actually did it. Like, like have him as a character involved in the Sonic film.
I think they did like a little break the wall thing too with, I don't know if you heard of The Truman Show.
Oh, yeah?
But I believe that has Jim Carrey, and that's where he's starring in a film, but he doesn't know he's the main character in that show, and people are watching him.
Oh, yeah?
That's what that film's... apparently it's a really good film, but I think they were like kind of hinting at that he's done that before. Because he's like almost like two actors playing the same person, and that they look at the camera. But yes, Jim Carrey plays two people.
Yes,
and then we have the return of Knuckles, I believe, after his TV show he's just finished doing.
Yeah, and you saw me go like, because there was like going fast forward. I know there was a character like in the Knuckles show that Correct. I hated with a passion. And his name is Wade. And the problem is with Knuckles, the TV show, there was not a lot of Knuckles. It was Wade.
Oh, you serious?
Wade the show. And that's why it pissed me off. And I was like worried about going into this film if it was going to be something similar to that. But of course they listened to the fans and they said, no, we don't want no more Wade. So they only gave him like 10 seconds of a dialogue and he's out.
Yeah, I like about that.
So I don't know why is Wade here, and I wish he wasn't. But I'm like, you know what? I guess you're making tribute to.
Well,
the
they
show.
Have to. They paid for it, so.
Yeah, so I'm like, he's probably just a family member who's just like probably from the director or something from the side. Brother, he's like, can I please be in the movie? He's like, fine. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just don't like Wade because he definitely ruined the Knuckles show for me. That's why when you saw me turn around, I was like, oh my god,
you know who it was. I knew it. Yes, yeah. The whale did get mad.
Yeah, I was like, this guy. So if you're gonna make a Knuckles season 2, which I'm pretty sure you don't, I'm pretty sure you won't. But yeah, don't bring back Wade. But our humans, please just keep it like
change
this.
His character, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Or probably. Nah, I don't think so. Just Knuckles. Just Knuckles.
Okay.
What do you thought of basically Kanye Reeves of Shadow, of his plot? Basically, what exactly happened to Shadow?
So I didn't know they were aliens. I mean, you might have known. I thought they just came from like a different dimension or something.
They kind of did.
Well, I don't know because I don't know where.
Yeah, this one's an interesting take because they're basically coming from outer space or aliens. So instead of always having this kind of weird, I don't know if you ever saw this cartoon called Sonic X.
It's like been a long time.
Long time. Different multiverse, something like that. Not like a multiverse, but a different universe coming into their world.
See,
and this is kind of a different take of them being an alien.
That's probably what I thought it was. Because that's how I remember it. I thought they were from a different universe. But anyways, I thought it was an interesting aspect. Keanu Reeves, Shadow. I like Shadow, and I figured this was going to be the way he acts. And, that's how he's always been portrayed, I believe. I definitely enjoyed him. He was a big plot in the movie. When he was on scene and when he was going against them, he was better. He was better at fighting. He was better at everything than all of them, pretty much. He was more experienced and he was more powerful. And I thought his take with, I think, his past. So I'm pretty sure that's like the actual story with him too, because I know it was him and some girl Maria. And Maria. In a game I played, I remember him talking about some girl Maria, but I didn't know anything really besides that.
This one's kind of a different take. Instead of her getting shot, it's more like the canister exploded and kind of engulfing her in flames. And what's kind of weird? You could kind of see the old other Robotnik.
Yeah,
I forgot what was his name.
We'll just call him Granddad.
Granddad, yeah. Basically, Granddad Robotnik, who basically was kind of next to her. And I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't you got absorbed by the flame as well? Because he also dies in the video game as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so this is why it was a different, cool take that seeing him there and seeing the actual Robotnik kind of communicate with each other. It was pretty cool, and I was actually surprised by that.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. Say that's something I would have... That's pretty interesting. Okay.
All right. So let's go from the beginning where basically what happens, boy. All right.
Oh,
So,
they're racing.
well, before that, you start
Oh.
seeing Shadow in
Oh,
the
that's right.
canister. Basically, he is there sleeping for 50 years until somehow he woken up. Do you know how he woke up?
The granddad.
Yeah, Grandpappy basically did a virus, and he came out freaking swinging. He knows what gun is, and he basically just didn't take no prisoners.
Yeah, which they explain pretty much why and how he knew.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously he fought them and stuff like that, and he escaped.
So after that, after when Shadow finally got released, and he came out all badass, like he was just basically heading to Japan, to Tokyo.
Yeah. So the prison's in Tokyo. It's literally called Prison Island.
Yeah.
But he literally bolts out of there and goes straight to Tokyo. Which people weren't scared of him. It was until, like, people... I don't know if people know of Sonic's existence or not.
Oh, he does. He kind of saved the world multiple times.
Okay. But, like, you know, people saw him. He's like, this place is different. Then it cuts to... what are the gun. The government gun. Then it cuts to the race.
Oh, the race part. Which it was a nice little surprise because obviously they weren't actually trying to race Sonic. They were just stalling him so they could prepare what?
His birthday. Well,
Yeah,
no, it's
well,
not his birthday.
yeah.
I guess.
Earth Day, basically.
Yeah, I guess it was.
It was
few
kind of like a
years,
birthday, but
yeah.
it's more like...
When he arrived to Earth, I guess that's what they said.
Yeah, and basically they were just there celebrating with Sonic that, you know, we're glad you're here. You know, you're part of our family. You know, you had like basically a big family. And this is when you kind of say it's like, that's when, what was his name? The other human. I find it funny. Tom. There it is. Tom.
Okay. Yeah,
So basically this is where Tom told him, like, because he went to where Sonic first was there in what was it, like an underground tunnel.
Oh, he was like in a cave or something, huh?
Yeah, because that's where Sonic used to live, and he was,
I didn't
you
know
know,
that.
there just messing around. He had like nunchucks, and obviously he told him, like, you know, if you know, obviously all you have right here is your heart, which is like, it's actually lungs. I was like, wait, what?
No, he pointed at his lungs because he's smaller.
So basically what happened is when Sonic actually told Tom that, look, if I never had you guys, I would have been a different hedgehog. And it cuts to, you know, Shadow in Tokyo looking around all confused because obviously he was asleep for 50 years. And I love it because it said like 2024. And it was actually right there, like 2024, even though
That's right.
change for the year. And obviously he said, like, I was asleep for 50 years. And then that's when you see the government gun come in, and he was pissed. He's like, I don't want you guys near me.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, he just wants to be left alone. And obviously you start going in a rampage. And that's when we get our other character named Director Rockwell,
Which
who is played as...
I just know her from Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
And, of course, Breaking Bad.
Of course.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
And it's funny because a lot of people thought she was going to be playing as Rouge the Bat, but it wasn't.
Oh, what?
That's what rumors was
Oh,
going around.
I didn't know that.
But it wasn't.
Oh.
It would have been interesting.
It probably, huh? Oh, wow. That would have been this. Damn, okay, that would have been way different.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So what happened after that? Basically, she needed help to go get Shadow. Because it's like, obviously, my military has no chance in hell. They're getting destroyed out there.
Team Sonic as they go by.
I love that part. It's like Team Knuckles.
Yeah.
It's like, no, obviously Tails said, we're good as a team. We definitely like doing this. So obviously, it's Team Sonic it is. And guess what? They go to Tokyo. And it was really fast. They don't waste time either. Because of the rings.
Yeah, which I didn't get the whole ring thing. How
it explained in the first one. Like, it's a teleportation.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And it kind of makes sense from the video games if you played it.
I mean, I have, but it's been years since I played it.
Exactly, yeah. But
Like
don't worry. If you're a
years.
Sonic fan, you'll know.
Yeah, okay, but they go through it. They show up.
Yeah.
They tell director whatever off because of Sonic made a joke about them taking too long. They didn't have any snacks or something like that.
Oh yeah, this is the worst.
And
experience ever.
Yeah, she just jumps down, and then that's when they jump down. They see the destruction. Shadow's done.
Yeah.
They decide of what they're having a dialogue like, what should we do? Should we just attack him? Well, obviously Knuckles wants to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
He wants to fight. Sonic they want to find out what's going on first.
Yeah, no, that's true. He wanted to find out because that's what Sonic likes to do. Because he's looking at Shadow, is like, you look like me.
Well, we're about to. He doesn't see him at first until he walks up to him. Then he's like, "Why are you me?" And he's like, "No, you're look like me." They start having this back and forth. They're trying to figure out, and then he's like, "I don't trust anyone. I saw you guys jump from the gunship helicopter."
Oh yeah, like I don't need to talk to you anymore. You guys are already the bad guys here. And this is when they started having a fight, which I actually enjoyed. Because Shadow is basically, if you don't know this little phrase, he is the ultimate being. Basically, he is the strongest one. And he did kick their butts.
Yeah.
All three of them.
I guess it's something, it's called chaos, which I have heard him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Chaos control.
Yeah. Was he created in a lab in some adaptations or no?
Probably in some adaptations.
I could be completely wrong. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yes, he does kick their butts. Now there was I did like one thing that they did right in this movie is they talked about teamwork, right?
Yeah, of course.
Sonic's like, nah, I'm gonna
solo,
do this yeah. Which it shows that it was like a thing that kept on flying and stuff like that.
And obviously, this is the great part that I did like with the whole motorcycle because it's actually a callback from the video games where where Shadow actually had a game of his own
and a gun.
Exactly, gun, motorcycle, and obviously, why would Shadow need a motorcycle? He's already faster, or just as fast as Sonic.
It made it look good.
Oh yeah,
because he did use the Sonic or the motorcycle and he started going fast.
Yeah.
So he was rushing with. It was a nice scene. Kind of reminds me like they made that Tokyo Drift reference.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of references to other movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they had this racing and this epic like fight where it led to them going up all the way.
Oh yeah.
Like to a tower.
Oh, absolutely.
And that was cool because when they punched each other,
it did like an EMP blast and basically knocked out
that was cool.
I was like sick.
But clearly he lost to Shadow. He got knocked out and he handcuffed him with with Tails' special handcuffs.
I like it because he was like, this is just a part of my strategy. It's like a tactical retreat. He's all like already defeated. I love that part. So what happens after that? The whole like basically them getting their butts kicked.
They had to. They're like, let's regroup. I don't trust a gun, right?
Yeah.
So they go to, I guess, allegedly one of the most popular spots in Tokyo. Yeah. Which I don't know if that's true or not.
I forgot what those things were, but they were in the games of Sonic, and they were called chems. I can't remember, but they were so iconic, and people like those. But obviously, they were there just having a party. And basically, they were throwing some jokes, like basically Tails looked like Pikachu.
Yeah.
And I was just
Pokemon, yeah.
And Pokemon reference. It was fun.
That would have made me laugh really hard if I didn't see the trailer.
Yeah.
Because that was funny.
And this is the part where it actually kind of was shocking to me because General showed up, that he was from the second one, who came in and telling Sonic is like, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And obviously you see Robotnik drones, which this is kind of clarifying that Robotnik is still alive. Or at least that's what they thought. They thought he was dead, but he wasn't. And obviously they killed off the general. And I was surprised. I was like, what? A death?
I will admit, like, that whole random... That was, like, kind of all random and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. It was kind of out of nowhere, kind of an ambush. But I did like how serious it was. Like, they had to kill off a character, and that was kind of one of the things that raising the stakes. And I loved it.
That is interesting.
Yeah, so obviously when that happens, obviously this guy in a motorcycle came in, and we know him, one of Robotnik's minions.
How long has he been his minion for?
From the very beginning. Okay. Agent Stone. And he was there, he was doing some cool maneuvers because he took out the Robotnik drones, and he's telling them, like, that's not his drones. I'll take, and I could give you proof. We're going to his hideout. Where was the hideout?
In a crab.
In the sea crab.
It was in a robotic crab. A Robotnik crab, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, and this is the part where it was kind of going back to Robotnik. He looks like he let himself go, and he was just watching novellas.
So that shit was hilarious. watching the novela.
If you're a Spanish child, you could actually know like from the beginning, like Spanish. Like Spanish people, like like the Hispanics, they love their novellas. They love that drama.
But like, it's not just that, but it's like kind of bad. It's like early 90s and like late 80s acting in Spanish novellas, and it was hilarious.
It was bad, but in a good way.
But no, it was so funny, and it's funny because Shadow does say something like later, which we'll get to, but
it was hilarious. Basically,
it's what you expect from a Spanish novella.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's where we see Robotnik, and Robotnik's. I don't know why he's what ended up happening at the end of the second one, but he's pretty much just been living out his days, just doing whatever he wants, just laying down.
Yeah,
relaxing.
he basically
I guess defeated, right?
Yeah, he was defeated. He basically gave up. He let himself go. He was basically just watching like television, like everybody does, and just say like, yeah, that's garbage. This is talking about family novella. I don't have family. Just look at me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then after when he turned around, you get to see the hedgehog there. And I was like, what the hell? And this is when the movie went straight up again. And I loved it.
Yeah.
Because you start seeing like Sonic and Robotnik kind of going back and forth, like their old rivalry again.
Yeah.
It was sick.
Yeah. Which he lets him know that his drones were taken.
And basically he was wondering like, why is this happening? It's like, nobody take my drones. And I'm the one who's going to have to like basically save the world and basically had to look for this person that we get to find out who it is. Because remember, he gets to track them. He knows where it's at.
Yeah, which he did real fast.
Yeah, and it was actually moving on pretty good. I like the pacing in this film.
The pacing was not slow. It was
perfect. And it was good because obviously you just see him like Robotnik getting dressed up, ready to go, and basically teaming up with Sonic and his team. And obviously they go into the place where basically Shadow was basically where he escaped from. Or like where the lab. And this is the part.
Oh, yeah, originally, yeah.
Yeah, and this is the part we get a couple of nice little jabs here and there for Robotnik and Sonic. And we get in there, you see like Knuckles punching the door.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
And
so we're already getting like the slapstick from Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I know. He's just perfect of the character. I love him. Once he went inside, you just started hearing them banter. And I love the part where basically Knuckles was like, afraid of ghosts.
Oh, Casper.
Casper. There is no such thing as a friendly ghost. I was like, this is great. I couldn't get enough of this. And what happened after that?
They split up. These guys split up. They pulled the old Scooby-Doo gang. Let's split up. Robotnik's like, Mean Stone will go take the right. You guys just the colored guys go the other way, which is so stupid.
Yeah, and this is the part where actually Sonic was like, no, I'm actually kind of worried that he might actually pull something here.
Yeah.
And obviously he's kind of right.
Yeah.
So I did love how they kind of separated. You see Tails talking with Stone is like, aren't you friends with Dr. Robotnik?
Yeah, that was...
And it was kind of nice because he was just telling them like, he didn't know what he was really to Dr. Robotnik. He's like, he's my friend, I think.
His employer.
Yeah, he's employed, but he's debating if he's actually friends with Robotnik because they've been together for a while since the very beginning.
Yeah.
And obviously Knuckles gets over there and basically gets ambushed by
Shadow.
Shadow, and obviously Shadow took them out easily. Yeah, I'm surprised.
He knocked them out really fast, easily.
And I did love it how he's basically spooking everybody. Like, how they were screaming. How basically Knuckles thought it was a ghost, but it was Shadow. And obviously Stone got knocked out too. Yeah. And the only one who didn't got knocked out was basically Dr. Eggman because he was talking with his grandpa who finally showed up.
Yeah.
Who was him?
It was him.
As Jim Carrey.
But I that's where they do their dialogue of like, you look exactly like me. It's almost like we're the same person. But that was pretty interesting. He was like quizzing him and testing him.
I know. So what happened after that whole little gist?
This is a plan. Shadow was working with him. You figure it out, obviously.
And obviously Robotnik teamed up with his other grandpa Robotnik.
That's right.
And obviously they had them tied up. And obviously he was going to go ahead and just go like, you know what? We already have our own plan. We're going to go off. And obviously Shadow is going to basically destroy you guys with what? With the mini dark.
I don't know where he got that, but it was basically a mini black hole, which... with
its chaotic powers, which kind of absorbs everything.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay. Yeah, but I guess the plan was there's 2 keys. One's from Guns that they have, and one was from Walter, Sergeant Walter, or whatever, who gave it to Sonic. Which sounds funny because he's like, you don't think we're gonna be that stupid to bring it to you? He just he's like, oh, we're that dumb.
Yeah, I love those parts. Yeah.
So they leave. Shadow does the black hole, but Tails had a ring. So Sonic did a nice trick shot, and that barely worked.
It barely, but they managed to do it.
Yeah, they managed to get out, and they ended up going outside of the mountain.
And you get to see how destructive Shadow is.
Yeah, it destroyed the whole mountain basically.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Then you get the dialogue with the 2 doctors where he's like, "I've been trying to kill him like for years," and then he was
just
like,
"Took an afternoon."
Yeah, and it just took you an afternoon. There's a lot of funny dialogue with
exactly.
It's too much to remember.
I know, don't worry. We're not going to cover everything, but once after that, Sonic's team went back to the humans where Tom is at. And basically told them, like, yeah, we need your help. And they were there basically having hobbies because they were bored.
Yeah, they're bored without... They realize that their life is boring without Sonic.
Exactly. And obviously, I kind of like this kind of, like, little bit. Because the wedding part for the second was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know how bad
it is. Yeah, the wedding part was the one thing that almost dragged Sonic 2.
How long was it?
It was a while. It was like a good solid, like, 20 minutes. It was awful. But I'm glad they fixed this here. I love how they had more jokes. It hit. I like that stupid dummy that he had.
Oh, yeah.
And I just love the whole
Yeah, that was
banter.
pretty funny, too, yeah.
And this is where they have a plan to go to Gun's facility and take the other key card. Obviously, Dr. Robotnik is, both Dr. Robotniks have the same plan to get the key card. And it's basically racing against time.
Yeah.
And Sonic can't just go in there because they had this artifact, this defense barrier that could vaporize him. So you can't just go in there, especially even Shadow. They'll both get destroyed.
Even if they get in there, they have to pass through a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Like obstacles.
Basically, this is the great part that Sonic can't do everything by himself, especially Shadow. He has to rely on Dr. Robotnik and his grandpa. Yeah. While obviously, Sonic has to rely on his friends.
Yeah.
And this is really good stuff. And obviously what happens after that, once they finally broke in.
Both Robotniks are already inside. They were already ahead of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think this is where we get... the other 2 were funny. The Tom and his wife, right?
Yeah.
They're sneaking in. I guess there's references to her sister, maybe from the older movies.
Yeah, from the second one. Yeah. It's that stupid wedding, which I didn't like.
Anyways, it had references to that. And then, because they could change their face. But I like, there's some funny, it wasn't as funny as the Dr. Robotnik scene, but there's some funny ones. Like where he salutes the director.
Yeah, Rockwell.
Yeah, and then also when she changes her face to her, and he's like staring at her. And then she punches him in the stomach.
Yeah, and so obviously, once they go, when Dr. Robotniks go inside, they have these cool-ass suits.
Yeah, that's when it cuts to them.
Like crazy plan because once they went into the lasers, I love this part because
it's the best scene in the whole movie.
Exactly. They started breakdancing like in a facility where there's death lasers that could vaporize him. And obviously I love how one of the Dr. Robotniks pushed the other one into the lasers and he was
pushed Grandpappy.
Yeah, pushed Grandpappy in there. Didn't realize if the suit would work.
Yeah.
So if he pushed it and he gets vaporized, he just murdered his family. So once that happened, they realized how, indestructible their suits were, and they just started breakdancing and dancing, and I love this
He said,
part.
"Is this a competition?"
Oh, yeah. They just start going at it.
And it was a good, 5 minutes of pure gold.
It was.
It was so random that I'm glad they didn't show in the trailer. It was hilarious and worth watching. That is very iconic.
I love it. And once they started getting closer, that's when Sonic has to realize that that Tails said they're getting closer to the card. So they have to take action. And Sonic legitimately had to go. And guess what? He almost got vaporized.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for Tails.
Tails did save him.
Yeah. And once he went in there, he kind of set off the defense systems, which got Dr. Robotnik, both of them, into a gravity pull into the floor. And Sonic was basically got trapped having a hovering gravity.
Yeah.
which he couldn't move really well.
So he was stuck floating while the other were stuck on the floor.
I know. And this is the part where you see the director Rockwell come in and just going like, yeah, we knew you guys were coming.
Yeah, like, did you really think we weren't? She thought Sonic's team was trying to also steal it.
Yeah. She didn't trust them. Yeah.
But she knew Robotnik was going to come for it.
And obviously what happens after that? It went chaos.
It did go chaos. Because they had to do Knuckles' plan.
Yeah.
Which was just smash the glass and go through.
Yeah. And this is when a chaotic started happening. Yeah. Everything was going like red, green, the gravitational pull and up. And it was a nice little cool scene in banter between everybody.
That was really funny banter, yes.
I guess it was the grandpa. Oh, no. It was Robotnik and the director Rockwell trying to rig a race for the chip that's on the ground. And she managed to get it.
She did.
And she managed to leave, but luckily Tom knew what to do. He became the general disguised as him, and she thought he was dead.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they kind of didn't just go like, oh, I know everything. That there's something off about him. So I won't trust him.
But like it showed the military like aspect of someone because when he said that's an order,
and it was an order.
Yeah, which normally I assume if you're in the military, you all like follow the order.
Yeah.
You're told what you do, which he did.
And that was good.
But then this is when Shadow arrives. And the thing is, he was disguised as Walter. So when Shadow sees Walter, what does he do?
He freaking destroyed him. Not technically, but he knocked him out.
Yeah, he like gave him a really bad concussion and broke his... I think he did break his arm.
He did broke his arm.
Yeah.
But basically they thought that he was in critical condition. He was actually needed to be rushed to the hospital. And this is when you start feeling that Sonic was starting to get angry.
Yeah.
And this is the Sonic that we don't see very often.
Yeah. It's like pretty much Shadow. Because later in the film, I mean, you do get to see that he basically is actually kind of stronger than Shadow. And he does defeat Shadow, obviously. But you could tell he was getting like really frustrated. But he's cared about Tom or whatever, so he stayed with him. That's when both Robotniks set up they were already in their ship that they created for him.
Yeah.
And it gets launched into space, which I didn't think the final battle will take place in space, but that was really cool.
I love the whole scene about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is the part where basically Sonic was like, you know what? I have to go out there and basically defeat Shadow and the Robotniks.
Yeah, which this was I guess they swore an oath not to touch it, which I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Master Emerald.
Yeah.
And obviously Knuckles was ready to, fight, but obviously he's like, you know what? If you want to take it, go for it.
Well, it's what he said. It was because he's like, they told us to do better, whatever. And he's like, I will put my faith and trust in you.
Yeah.
He's like that, but
first you got to defeat a magical warrior that's defending the Master Emerald. Your favorite
character ever.
Which Wade showed up, and I was just like, this guy. But luckily, it only lasted for 10 seconds.
It was 10 seconds.
Yeah, 10 seconds. It was a little funny. But, Wade kind of ruins Knuckles for me. And this is why I still have gripe with it. And if I see him again, I'll knock a point out in the next, Sonic 4.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how much I don't like Wade. Because he ruined Knuckles for me. The TV show. Yeah, it was basically he went to go get the Master Emerald. He took it from Wade. Because Wade wouldn't do anything. He's a little bit...
Well, quick question, actually. Yeah. So, did he use Supersonic in the first one?
In the second one.
Oh, not in the first one?
No. So, obviously, when that happens, he got the Master Emerald. He powered up. And what's kind of interesting is you get to see the other...
They changed it.
They did.
I think, because if I'm correct from the Sonic lore, is it 5 emeralds or 7? There's 8?
Yeah, 8.
Okay,
Or 7,
it's either 7 or 8 emeralds.
Yeah.
But you collect them and you could Supersonic.
Yes.
Or you could just get the Master Emerald.
And that gives you a power-up.
And that gives you a power-up.
Yeah, and that's what basically Sonic did. And he freaking went out to space. And I did love the Robotniks going like, is that a missile? Like, no, it's going a little too fast for us.
Yeah.
And it destroyed Shadow. He took him out. And this is the part where I was kind of shocked because they were starting to go at it. And I was like, this is the most action-packed that I saw from a Sonic film.
Like Dragon Ball.
Yeah, there was this Dragon Ball. There was like lava coming out, and they were fighting throughout the whole world.
Yeah, they were flying legitly out the whole world. And then I like it because it zooms to the Robotniks, and you see the yellow light of them fighting across the planet, which was really cool.
Yeah, and
that was really cool.
I like how one of the Robotniks was like, "What is even going on? I don't even see them."
Yeah,
and this is the part when you start understanding that why they needed the Shadow, or at least one of the Robotniks needed him, because he needed to power up.
Yeah.
The spaceship, the craft that could actually release a cannon. What would have happened?
Basically, he was gonna destroy the whole world.
That's what it was.
Yeah, but he was also gonna kill himself. Which I was surprised about that.
Yeah.
Because the younger Dr. Robotnik wants to rule the world. And the other one wants to destroy the world.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. He's like, we could rule it together. He's like, no. He's like, no matter what, humans are awful. And then this is where he realized that he doesn't like him. He's like, you're never going to be like Maria.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn, what the...
Exactly. This was like basically when the realization that Dr. Robotnik, who he thought his grandpa, his grandpa or great grandpa thought that he was, family to him. Like they actually did like him, but he's like, nope.
Yeah.
I don't like you.
He just used him.
Yeah, I just used you. What I wanted. And I want to destroy the Earth, including myself, along with everybody. Because there is nothing
Which
more
I
better.
did not expect that.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing better for revenge than having the satisfaction, justice. And Shadow was willing to do it himself, too.
He did not care.
Both
of them cared.
Yeah, until basically this is the part where, Robotnik actually had a change of heart.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? I got to stop this guy.
Yeah, he's like, whoa.
Yeah, that's more eviler than I do. Yeah. I want to rule the world. He just wants to destroy everybody. Yeah. And this is where you get a little fight scene, which was goofy, but it was entertaining enough that I actually enjoyed.
Yeah, no, that was perfect.
Exactly. You just see him turning into bug-like creatures.
Yeah, one scorpion, one mantis, one super fist. He's getting spanked.
Oh, yeah, like
so as they're fighting, Sonic and Shadow are fighting, which Shadow did power up because he did knock the emeralds technically off of Sonic, so they super fun. That's how they went around the world. When Shadow and Sonic are fighting, he told them about Tom, right? Like he had it coming or something. He was something like that. Sonic hit him really hard that it launched, which that was cool because it launched him all the way to the moon.
Yeah,
and then he like unpowered up, and Sonic was actually gonna kill him.
Oh, well, yeah. You don't know what he told him to Tom? He told him like, this is the same anger that I have felt when Maria died. Like this is what was happening, and basically you let your friends down because you had an oath.
Yeah, that's what he did say. Yeah,
and basically Sonic was getting pissed off. He was like, stop talking about my family like that. And that's when you see him release a mega punch that shot him to freaking space and towards the moon, and basically he took him down and just kind of like knocked the super Shadow out of him.
Yeah.
And obviously Shadow was like, see, this is anger. And this is what you're supposed to be feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you the chance to finish me off. He's like, point right here in the chest. Do it.
Yeah.
He had a change of heart.
Yeah. Because he remembered of what Tom told him.
The heart, not the lungs.
And that baffled, that like definitely perplexed him. He was like so lost. He was just like, what the hell? He's like, why didn't you do that? Yeah. He's like, why did you stop? And what did Sonic say?
Well, this is the moment when they both, Sonic turned off his Super Saiyan mode, and they started just talking about each other like, I'm sorry what happened to you, but I'm pretty sure Maria wouldn't want this. And this is the part where, Shadow was kind of looking at the stars. Like, this is the same stars that I've been looking through the sky with Maria. And
he was like, I haven't seen it since with her.
Yeah, exactly.
That was cool because they're on the moon.
Yeah, and they were just, talking, having like a bro moment.
And the sun rises.
And he's like, you know what? This is actually what, the light shines. I forgot what was exactly the words, but it was nice.
Yeah.
And once that happened, he's like, you know what? I'm changing sides. I'm going to help you to defeat Grandpa Robotnik. And this is the part where it played one of my favorite theme songs for Sonic, which is Live and Learn.
Yeah, live and learn.
I know. Copyright. No, I'm just kidding. So this is the part where they became Super Saiyans and they both went out to go fight the spaceship. And obviously, the other Grandpa Robotnik was basically already defeated.
Robotnik.
And he's like, "Oh, you betrayed me!" So I'm sending out my robotic, robot drones, and they had another cool ass fight here.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And it was
really
nice.
Cool.
Yeah, they were going at it, and you hear the Live and Learn song. I was like,
yeah,
I'm hoping for his world on the next one, on Sonic 4.
That'd be nice.
I would love to hear it because that's my favorite one. But this is my second one.
That's my favorite one too.
Yeah, so I can't wait. After when they defeated all that, you start seeing Robotnik, who's basically pleading with his grandpa. He's like, "Don't do this.
Yeah.
Like, please don't like destroy the whole world." Yeah. And he's like, and obviously Grandpa is like, he's not having any of it. Yeah. He's like, "So what's your last words?" And he's like, "I love you." He's like, like, I don't want to hear it. And basically, he really did not care for his, his grandchild. Yeah. He just did not care.
He didn't care.
Yeah. And obviously, he thought he killed him. But in reality, this is when you saw Tails and Knuckles saving Robotnik. And guess what happened? Go ahead.
Robotnik used Sonic's super... I guess he's been licking his hair or something like this.
It turned yellow.
It's been yellow, but I guess they've been licking it this whole time.
Yeah.
But anyways, he put it up his butt. Or like... shocked his butt, and he flew into the radioactive thing that Shadow started.
Yeah, and it was like a little bug zapper.
Yeah, I was like,
like that. I was like, what?
That was hilarious.
Like another death scene. I was surprised.
That shit was hilarious.
It was. I was shocked how he died. I was like, I thought he wasn't going to die, but he did. And this is the part when he basically did, died, and obviously Sonic's already finished it, but too late. The laser's already charged and it's already blasting. Less than 2 seconds.
So Shadow and Sonic are holding it off.
Yes.
As they're holding it off, what does Tail do? Oh no.
Well, so.
They're steering it. They're steering the.
Yeah, the laser.
Yes.
While they're steering it, you start seeing Shadow and Sonic holding it as long as they can. But obviously, Sonic was already losing power because he was in the form longer than Shadow. Okay. And obviously he lost it and he couldn't hold it anymore and he started falling. And this is where Tails and Knuckles had their shining moment where they saved Sonic.
Yeah. Tails goes down there. He tried using Knuckles' last ring.
Yeah, and I did love it how they destroyed the moon a little bit with the laser.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Oh, that was hilarious because he was like, look, I saved it. And then he's like, look, I did that. He's like, all right, who did that? He's like, you guys did that.
And this is the part where you start seeing Shadow, like, he teleported himself in where Dr. Robotnik is at. Yeah. And he was telling him, like, what is going on? What's happening? He's saying the whole spaceship is getting ready to blow. Once it blows, it's going to take Earth.
Yeah.
And this is the part where this is when my heart hurt more than I thought it would. He had to make a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Not one, but both.
Which I was surprised.
Yeah.
I thought one would at least, I thought Jim carries more.
Yeah.
But both of them.
Yeah, both of them.
Which, he was amazing. It was like, what the hell?
Yeah, and this is the part where Shadow is like, all right, I'm going to push the spaceship as far as I can from Earth while you try to cool down the cooler as much as you can. The core.
Yeah.
And obviously he started doing this crazy maneuvers, trying his best. Shadow's pushing it farther from the Earth as he can. And obviously before he did anything else, Dr. Robotnik, he did a final farewell to Earth and to his friend.
Stone, right?
Stone, yeah. And he told him, like, you know what? I may have said those things, but, I actually did care. Yeah. You were my friend.
Yeah. He said, if I can't take Earth, I guess I'll save it or something.
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah. And it was, I felt it. And it was really nice because I don't know if Jim Carrey's going to come back.
Yeah, highly doubt it. Maybe.
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, because this is going to be his second death again?
Yeah.
And if he comes back, it's kind of like, you're kind of dragging it on, so.
Maybe, but who knows?
Yeah, I'd rather have him back, though. But
yeah, so would I. Trust me, so would I.
Yeah, so this is the part when it finally exploded. And you see Sonic and Knuckles and Tails finally on Earth. Looking the big explosion, it looked nice, but we lost two great heroes.
Yeah. You do see the lights of the explosion out there. It looked like another galaxy.
It did. It was pretty cool, and I did like that. And after that, what happens after? They just kind of like go like, I can't believe he he sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
And you see the henchman going like, you did it. And he just walks off.
Yeah.
Time passed on. They were back in the woods ready to race again.
Yeah. Finally racing.
Yeah. And obviously you see Tom all fixed up. He still has a broken arm.
Yeah.
And they were making smoothies out of donuts.
Yeah.
You know, like
They just ate 'em.
Hershey's, like all disgusting. I don't think I'll be able to eat that. That's disgusting. And this is the part where they have a final moment. They just hug. And this is the part where they just said, you know what? There's only one final business to do. Let's race.
Yep.
And it's like a callback from the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, they had to race. And obviously it ended from there. And this is where we get the final credits.
Which it seemed like it was gonna end, but there wasn't. I guess it continued. Sonic overdid it. He went I think to a different spot. It was like at a park.
Yeah.
Point
Because he beat them like
Yeah.
a mile away. He's like, where are you guys?
Yeah. But this is where we get the introduction of Metal Sonic.
And I was going nuts.
Which the animation CGI for it, I mean, he looked great.
Yeah, and not just one, but a couple of them.
Yeah,
there
which
was more Metal Sonics out there.
But guess who saved them?
Oh, Amy Rose. And she's been a fan favorite for a very while.
Yeah, which I forgot about her, but I'm surprised they didn't introduce her earlier. I knew they would introduce Tails first, but I guess it makes more sense they introduce Tails then Knuckles, kind of like the game, because I think that's how they do it.
And this pretty much confirms there's going to be a fourth one. Amy Rose is going to be in it. And obviously Metal Sonic. I don't know what Metal Sonic is going to really much do. Because it could be like a Metal Sonic that goes rogue. Because it's just as fast as Sonic.
Yeah.
And just as powerful. And it's one of the most threatening robots out of Robotnik's, inventions. It's the one that went rogue. And I can't wait what they do with this. I'm excited. And it cannot be any brighter for like the Sonic trilogy for going on even further.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. And remember, this is the one, the quality, it could either go up or it could go down, which I'm kind of nervous. I don't want it to go back down. I want it to go up.
Yeah, but regardless, I think you get a solid trilogy off these films.
What a ride. And what a good way to end December, really, of the 2024. And I'm actually shocked that it was really nice to see this.
Yeah,
film.
it was a good film.
Especially yourself, since you basically, saw it for the first time.
Yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to see the Sonic films. I mean, I'm glad I saw this one at least.
Yeah, I'm glad because people were laughing in the in the back seat. They were talking about it. I saw when Amy Rose showed up, people were like, "Oh!"
Yeah.
Like that. Like they were excited. I was excited too. I was more of a Sonic fan, but I do like Mario better though. But if this could convert me to a Sonic fan, like 100%.
Yeah, at least film wise for sure.
Yeah, I like the game so. And there's reasons why. I do love a lot of the characters. And I'm glad that Amy's going to be going into Sonic movie 4. I'm still waiting on Rouge the Bat, but time will tell.
They might introduce them both, maybe.
Yeah.
But you did get Metal Sonic.
And there was another cliffhanger too with Shadow in the end. So stick to the very end because you'll definitely see something of Shadow is still alive.
He's a fan favorite after all.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll definitely see him back. But if Jim Carrey comes back, I think they're gonna have to pay him double the money. And obviously, it's kind of hard doing that if they're gonna want to keep up with the budget of Sonic like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a little tricky. I don't think Jim Carrey's gonna come back for the fourth one, but it'll be nice seeing him though.
It would.
Yeah. But either way, that's all we got. We went over this pretty good.
Yeah. Went in there.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening. This might be the last one of this year. I hope you guys had a good holiday and a good year. But until then, we'll see you until next year. Later.
Later.